we got to talk about The Boys Present Diabolical.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Comic Crew. Chris and Rob here, as always. And, of course, we're going to discuss The Boys Diabolical, the animated shorts. Rob, the people want to know. I want to know. What'd you think?
Oh, my God. I loved it. This show it's great. High action. This is another anthology show, right? So each episode is separate from its own self. It's animated, of course. You guys know that because you clicked on the video here. Very similar to Star Wars Visions. Chris, a lot of action. I loved it a lot. And it was also hysterical, man. So many moments in that show had me laughing on the floor, especially episode 2. Episode 2 was just a huge homage to like Rick and Morty and all the weirdness that comes from it.
Yeah, it's almost like the Rick and Morty creators came on and like made the episode or something. Amazing cast too, Rob. You gotta give it up to the amount of talent they got. For this,
everybody's in
all
this show.
Around. I don't know who isn't. The only people who aren't in the show are me and you at this point. But
Hold us. We'll do it.
I'll do voices. But episode 2 to me was the hands down funniest. It was just like this awkward Rick and Morty. It's all these kind of reject superheroes with shitty, just awful superpowers. Like the slow motion guy was hilarious.
Oh, and
me.
he's killing his dad. Are you trying to choke me? I think you're trying to choke me. Oh, you're choking me. You're doing it.
Go ahead, son.
I'm dying.
Okay. And he helps him. So like that was so funny. Kevin Smith plays Booby Face, which I thought was absolutely great. And they're in the van and everyone's kind of talking about like how their lives would be normal. And he's like, literally, if I just didn't have tits in my face, I would could have a normal life. It's not even a power. It's like, he's just so angry at it. And I love, it's so stupid, but the added effect that every time he talks, it's like he's motorboating himself.
The motorboating are coming out.
Oh my God. So funny. And I got to give it up to Christian Slater's narrator character.
Oh, it was so great.
On the floor when he's like trying to proposition the nurse for a blowjob by narrating what's happening. I was crying,
and
dude.
She's like, stop it.
And she's like, no. He's like, as she wheeled away her favorite.
And you almost forget that this is in the Boys universe until the end with the narrator, because he's like, and then he cuts his father's face off to put it on his own face to go into the mirror to say, I love you, son. I'm sorry. And I'm like, holy crap. I mean, and then that leads me into my favorite episode of the whole series, is episode 3. Episode 3, I'm Your Pusher, right? It feels so much like an Invincible episode, right? And obviously, this is Amazon. This adult animation just hits home for me. The fact that like you're going into the drug supply of all these superheroes, poisoning the one, and then he legit kills himself, kills another guy, smashes himself into pieces, falls onto the floor. It's dark, it's gritty, it's wildly The Boys. There's no other way to put it. And I'm just so happy that we're getting more content like this.
Me too. And I also loved episode 3. You got this actual kind of Boys episode, right? Almost like a live action episode in like this 15-minute short. And Butcher has this plan, and it just
he looks great, by the way, like animated.
So cool. And it basically goes perfectly, right? There's not even a hitch, and this basically this tweaked out superhero that's about to become part of the 7. They hype him up and like almost like on speed and heroin combo with this, crazy drug, and he just blows through people. It's gross. It's just like you were right on nail in the head, right? Like Invincible, right? Like it's just
exactly.
The animation style was almost seamless. It could have been in the Invincible universe. And the other one I want to talk about that's kind of like this, Rob, was episode 8, where we actually get to see Homelander's, like a short snippet of Homelander's origin, not only with Vought, but kind of what he went through. And it kind of fleshed him out more, where you don't necessarily feel bad for him because he's absolutely
he's a monster.
But you kind of understand why.
Yeah.
And some of like his childhood was just basically getting tested on by Vought employees, and kind of all the pressure that's on him. And his first time out, he basically screws up and kills everybody. And that immediately starts his descent where he thinks Black Noir is going to come after him. And Black Noir is actually like, no, here's how we cover it up. And it's immediate. So it's like, oh, now we're finding out a little bit more about Black Noir. We're finding out about Homelander. Fantastic episode, which I hope carries over into the, like at least some part of season 3 with Homelander, as we know he has these lasting effects. Just a fantastic overall segment, Rob, of just awesome episodes. Everyone felt different, and it didn't feel like you were going into like a story that didn't make sense in this world. the animation styles were all different, which I loved. You had some anime style, you had some American animation, you had, like you said, right out of
Looney Tunes.
Invincible.
Like the first episode was like all Looney Tunes.
Exactly. I even like the one where it was like the relationship and it was about like social media and kind of gaining.
Oh, I like that one.
Powers with the cream or whatever, and
yeah.
in the reality he's like dead, and it's like kind of his last thought, which was a crazy twist.
Yeah.
So I was all about it, Rob, and I think I like this more, which is crazy to say, than Star Wars Visions.
So I like Star Wars Visions a lot. I see why you like this one more, and I think I might agree. It's because a lot of this connected so directly to that universe, where Star Wars Visions is kind of like their own spin, and like in some of the episodes, it was their own rules. Like, oh, if they were in feudal Japan, this would be it. This kind of kept more true, believe it or not, to the Boys IP. The only caveat to that is that I don't think this has gotten much light compared to Star Wars Visions, right? Star Wars Visions on Disney Plus. It's Star Wars. Everybody knows about it. The Boys already is more of a niche comparatively, right? And then this animated narrows that down even more so, right?
Yeah.
But this brings me to my main question to you, Chris, and to you guys at home. Is adult animation hit it in stride? Like, after we've seen this and all this other stuff with Invincible, with BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, adult animation, there's a huge audience for it, and it feels like it's growing. Are we entering this adult animation renaissance?
You know, Rob, that is a great question, and I kind of think we're already in that, right? Like, we've been in it for a couple years. Even since the 90s with Bruce Timm and superhero stuff, like, we kind of grew up with this stuff already in this superhero realm.
True.
And now it's not only just this, it's, you know, Invincible's huge. We've had, you know, Castlevania and Blood of Zeus and kind of these different genres come in, and people, instead of let's force a live action series on it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's video game related, superhero related, a lot of people now and a lot of companies are like, no, let's just do some animation, right? We had a couple great Avengers shows. We've had a couple great, you know, DC has done animated films for years that are usually straight to DVD, but some of them are fantastic.
They're all really good, yeah.
So we've had this for a while. As far as like mainstream, you know, streaming now, which is popular, absolutely. I think this is only the beginning of what we are eventually going to be in almost 24/7, whether, you know, Star Wars makes more Bad Batch stuff, you know what I mean? And different shows like that.
Fair.
Or, you know, Invincible does another show, or even with the Boys Diabolical stuff, we might get kind of the side stories maybe from the comics that they don't get to hit on in the live show.
Ooh, I would like that a lot.
Maybe they take one of those art styles, maybe the one that's like Invincible from episode 3,
sure,
and they make their own kind of series about it with some of the smaller stories that they don't put in the main show.
I mean, even if they want to keep the Diabolical, like the Boys Presents Diabolical headline, they can make, all right, this season focuses on this one story instead of each episode focuses on this one story, and that's how they could divulge the stuff into the comics and expand the universe. I'm fine with that, and I also agree. Like, I think right now we're in the adult animation renaissance, right? It's kind of like reminds me of the quote from Andy from The Office. You don't realize that you're in the good old days until they're already gone, right?
Yeah.
I just saw the episode yesterday. That's why
it's so good,
right?
It's so good.
But it's like, yeah, like right now, like this is prime time adult animation. Like we're getting everything in the superhero genre to the non-superhero genre that you see on Netflix and everywhere else. So we're in the thick of it, and it's fantastic. I'm so happy we're getting this. I can't wait for them to do more things. Amazon, you've got an A in my book with Invincible, and now this is just icing on the cake. I can't wait to see what you do more.
I can't wait to see what they do. I'm really excited to see what they do, as well as obviously everyone else, and see how their business kind of rises for them in the video side as well.
You know what I can't wait for? For your comments down below. Let us know what you thought of The Boys Presents Diabolical. Did you watch the show? Is this something you're going to be watching? We're dying to hear.
And guys, thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe, turn on notifications. You obviously don't want to miss it when we start talking The Boys when it comes out in June, right? You can't miss that. And you know we're going to be talking about it here. And if you miss anything, make sure to check it out on the channel. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew. And we'll see you next time.